In this lecture, we'll discuss on canonical decomposition based on whether the system is observable or unobservable. So we'll see basically the observable canonical decomposition, and towards the end, we'll see the notion of detectability, which is associated with such systems. Okay, consider the linear time invariant systems shown here, where ABCD are constant matrices of appropriate dimension, and the number of states that we have in hand is n. Number of outputs is p, and number of inputs is m. We are assuming that the pair AC is unobservable. So if this is the case, then there would exist a state space indecision, so that the state vector has the observable and the unobservable states separated out. It is similar to the controllable canonical decomposition, where we had the controllable states and the uncontrollable states separated out. Okay, since AC pair is unobservable, the rank of the observability matrix QO would be essentially less than n. So let us assume that the rank is small q, and the small q is less than n. Okay, now to find the state space representation, which consists of the observable and the unobservable states separated out, what we can do is we have to construct a similarity transformation matrix. So for this, we will construct the similarity transformation matrix out of QO. So this construction is similar to the similarity transformation matrix that we constructed for controllable canonical decomposition from the controllability matrix. In this case, what we'll do here is the first the first q number of rows of the similarity transformation matrix PO will be the q linearly independent rows of the observability matrix. Okay, so the first q rows of the similarity transformation matrix will consist of the q linearly independent rows of the observability matrix. Okay, and the remaining n minus q rows will be filled up such that the similarity transformation matrix PO is an invertible matrix. Okay, so to make PO invertible, the remaining n minus q rows are chosen such that the rank of PO is n. So that, or basically it means all the rows are linearly independent. All the rows of PO are linearly independent. So now once we have made this choice, if we say that the state vector z, which has the observable state and the unobservable state, related to x such that z equal to PO of x, I missed a O, I'll put that O, PO of x, then z dot will be PO AP inverse z plus PO B UT, and y will be CPO inverse z plus DUT. There are O's missing underneath the P's, so I'll put that, and they are all POs. This is the similarity transformation matrix that we have used here. Now, what would be the structure of this PAP inverse and CP inverse in particular? Okay, so from the definition of the PO here, PO transpose has the first Q call. The PO had the first Q rows to be taken from Q from the observability matrix. So PO transpose will have the first Q columns from Q transpose, and Q transpose is what? It is nothing but the transpose of the observability matrix as shown here. Okay. Now once we know this, let F be equal to POP inverse. So this would essentially mean that F transpose is this, and P transpose F transpose can be represented as this. Similarly, let G be a matrix which is equal to CPO inverse, hence G transpose would be of this form. Now recall the arguments that we had used to come up with the structure of these F and G matrices during controllable canonical decomposition. So the similar arguments would hold here, which would essentially indicate that the matrix F will be equal to a matrix of this form, where 0 is in the top right corner, and the matrix G would be of this form, where 0 is the second part of this particular break. Okay, so using this structure, if we write the state space representation in terms of z and y. So this is what we actually have got. So if you observe, um, zo dot is equal to AOZO plus BOUT. ZO bar dot, which is the unobservable part, is equal to A2ZO plus AO bar ZO bar plus BO bar UT. Okay, so ZO appears in ZO bar dynamics, but if you see the output is just COZO plus DUT. The output has no information about the ZO bar states. So we cannot estimate what the ZO bar states are, and hence the ZO bar states are unobservable. Okay, this particular decomposition that we have done is the observable canonical decomposition. We separated out the states to the observable and the unobservable states. Okay, in fact, if you want to look for the unobservable modes, then the eigenvalues of AO bar become the unobservable modes. The eigenvalue of AO become the observable modes. Okay. Now from this, we define something known as detectability, which is basically similar to stabilizability. Okay. So a system is said to be detectable if all the eigenvalues of AO bar have negative real part. Okay. If all the eigenvalues of AO bar have negative real part, then the system is detectable. Now, why this is so? This is essential because, I mean, what does this detectability have? Why is it important that AO bar should have negative real part? Well, this essentially ensures that for the unobservable but detectable systems, if you try to do a state estimate, then the state's estimate will converge to the actual state asymptotically, because the unobservable states will be finally driven to zero. If you start them at zero, then uh, you can actually have a very good estimate of the observable states. We'll stop here. Thank you.